are live. We are back. It is the NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of the best in the business, runpuresports.com. Tyler, man, 27-1, almost got there, but it was my team, the Beam team, that didn't come through. I told Kurt before we started, it was my mom's birthday last night, so this is one of the few days I didn't see any NBA last night. I think I had the Memphis Grizzlies on for about 20 minutes to a half hour while I was getting ready to go. So when I was watching, they were doing good, right? So that was a disappointing game. We got the under. We split that game. But I missed a lot of the action in the association last night. What did you see, Tyler?
Yeah, I actually didn't see much. I was busy at work last night. I caught the end of that last game, the Hawks game, which was already a blowout, so didn't really see much from there. I mean,
that game sucked, right?
Yeah, the Suns didn't look all that good. That was a good call by Cedome yesterday to take the Hawks.
I gotta give him his props.
But another thing we got to touch on spread. It didn't win yesterday, but I've been burning $5 on these threes parlays where you kind of just go through, you check everyone's volume, you take a couple guys from each game. Well, yesterday was $5 to win $41,000. We hit 14 of 18. I'll burn $5.
You got to start round robining those.
I'll burn $5 on that nightly to get my chance at that. It's better than a lottery ticket.
It's way better than a lottery ticket.
Exactly,
when you know the game like you do, Tyler.
Exactly.
Kurt,
I'll take my chances there.
How are you keeping up with basketball, Kurt? EuroLeague? NCAAs and NBAs. I mean, you must, when you go to sleep, your head.
No, like last night I couldn't sleep. Like I don't know. I knew I didn't get a REM sleep at all. I just had so much on my mind. It's like numbers, stats, like everything. It's funny you actually brought that up because I legit had terrible time sleeping last night because I feel like I was at my computer building a lineup and I was like, wait a minute, no, you're asleep. It's that time of year, man. It's only just going to keep getting crazier until March.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it. But since I have you on there and I don't know much about what's going on in either, like what's the hottest storylines in college basketball right now? And who are some players that I should be watching the rare times that I do watch college basketball? But the All-Star break comes up. I usually watch some college that week. Who are some players that you've enjoyed watching in the college streets that you think are going to make a nice transition to the NBA next year?
So I'm back at home now. I'm going home. I'm going back to my home in DC tomorrow. But so I'm down here with my parents. I was watching Zach Edey, National Player of the Year. It's just so funny to watch. He's like 7'4" for this big dude for Purdue, and it's just hilarious to watch him go to work against Penn State's small front court. But yeah, so that's the National Player of the Year. Just giant dude for Purdue, and then if they double him, he passes out, and they're surrounded by shooters who just kill you. They're the number one team right now. So I guess if you're a novice, you probably didn't know that Purdue's the number one ranked team. So
yeah, they knocked Houston out of that top spot. Who do you like better for the tournament, Purdue or Houston?
Man, you got to go with the Houston guards, man.
Yeah,
like, come on. Give me those Houston guards all day. I mean, that's what March is all about, having guards, and Houston is just they got the trio, man. And I will say this, I bet yesterday Villanova 80-1 to make the Final Four. It's crazy, but Justin Moore is back. He's looked good. They're a different team. The freshman Cam Whitmore, the 5-star, is starting to blossom. Justin Moore being back is huge. They'll get Long Vagina guy, John Long, whatever the fuck his name is. That's another guy to add into the mix. And they're going to have a legit 8-man rotation. So I think you can do a little sprinkle on Villanova, 80-1 to make the Final Four.
I don't think anything's crazy in college ball.
No,
and
so
I see my guy Mikey in here. So let me give a little education. When I was growing up, the players played 3 years, right? Yeah. So you had established teams, and the guys had chemistry and rapport with each other, and they kind of built as a team. With all these one-and-done things, I think the difference between, number 10 and number 30 is way different than it used to be. So to me, it doesn't sound crazy at all.
So I was telling her, I was like, it feels like no one deserves a top 5 really, besides like maybe Houston, I think. No one really gives me the identification of a top 5 team besides Houston, but a lot of teams that aren't ranked top 25 give me the feel of that are worth top 25. So
that's what I feel like too. Like if it's a lot of times, and you'll see it in the odds, it'll be number 19 versus a team not in the top 25, and the team not in the top 25 is favored.
Purdue deserves it, but if they come across, I don't know. I just feel like they could be very vulnerable come March.
Yeah,
but they're deserving. They've had a great year. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but with all due respect, you know what I'm trying to say.
Bro, that smile on his avatar just makes me think he's just getting ready to troll. Like, that's exactly how I envision him outside of it. Mikey in the chat.
What's the avatar?
Spread, what's going to beat the hell out of that avatar?
What's up?
Spread, you want to beat the hell out of that avatar.
Avatar and put it on a punching bag. That's what I'm going to get in shape for the for the March tournament. So, all right, let's dive into tonight. It sounds like it's like none of us really have some insights from last night. Usually we like to do a review, but hey, mea culpa. You know, I had family things last night, but hey.
Oh yeah, the other thing the one other thing from last night. Did Brooklyn even try? I mean, the game was over 2 minutes in.
Bro, this goes back to that Kyrie stuff. When Big T and JSU were like comparing him to Steph, he's terrible as a number one. Bro, he's the bet, maybe the bet, great Robin, right? No Scottie Pippen, but still, I mean, like, come on, man. That's terrible. A team with a true top player doesn't show out like that on national TV. That game sucked.
I mean,
what was the score? It was like 45-17 or something.
It was bad after the first quarter. They were up almost 30 after the first quarter.
Yeah, man. And hey, Boston's great and everything, but what a disappointment for a Brooklyn team. And remember on here, I said, I think Brooklyn.
They were up exactly 30 after the first quarter. It was 46-16.
Hopefully, we get some better games tonight. Let's dive right in. A team that we talk about a lot on this show, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're -2. They're in Indiana. They're taking on the Pacers. Total of 240.5. Their best player, Anthony Davis, will be leading the way tonight. He's been back for 3 games. And he's got a double-double in 2 of them. And then when he didn't, it was 27-9. And I believe, what was that? Was that the Celtics game? 27-9. No, it was their most recent one. Who did they beat after the Celtics? It was the Knicks. He went for 27-9. All right. Thank you, Tyler. Now, see, this is a great message. I sent it in the Discord, but I'll do it here. I apologize on behalf of all the young people for the actions of Tyler, Mikey, and C-Dome yesterday. The disrespect to Jordan was ridiculous. Thank you, Tyler. It was a rough day yesterday. It was a rough show for me.
I mean,
you guys are warming my heart with this
We got
support.
Kurt here. Kurt, you joining the young guys, or you jumping on the elderly side with Spread and trying to hold on to that Michael Jordan memento?
As far as who's the GOAT?
I mean, was that the argument yesterday, Spread? I don't even know where we were at yesterday.
Yeah.
Argument.
When Mikey gets involved, things go bad.
What's the debate?
Jordan versus LeBron, of course.
Oh, man, it's just all these guys can be classified in different categories for me. Like,
wow, perspective.
I don't know if I want to win a game. If I want to win a game, I'm going Michael. Like,
thank God. Oh my God, I love.
I'm sorry.
What a wonderful day.
I trust Michael.
Oh, Tyler, we're gonna sweep the RPB tags tonight. The mojo is flowing here. Hit the thumbs up. Get involved. RunPureSports.com. Promo code Spread15, Tyler15, or what's your code? Is it Tinder15 or Kurt15?
Tinder15, baby. You know it.
All right. All right. Mikey can't even spell Robin, right? You got to be kidding me. The Lakers are -2 with a total of 240.5. Tyler, let's start with you. When I ran projections, they said to take the Pacers. There's no way I'm taking the Pacers. They're 1-10 over their last 11 games. They might just hold Tyrese out, right? What's the point of making a playoff push to get absolutely housed in the first round? Like, you thought the Nets got housed yesterday? What would happen if the Celtics played the Pacers in the first round of the playoffs? So maybe we're looking, and Kurt, I think we might end up bringing you on, right? You watch so much college ball. I'd love to have a 4-man when we do this draft position. But I've said before, and this is not my opinion, this is stuff that I've read from other scouts. There's like 6 guys that might have got ahead of Paolo last year in this year's draft. It could be a great year, even if you're not in that top 3 slots, to get a draft pick. Maybe the Pacers shutting it down for now. They're +2 against Lakers. Of course, we know the players on the floor will give their all going against one of the greatest of all time, LeBron James. But still, Tyler, I can't find it in myself to back the Indiana Pacers here, even though the projections give me a slight edge there. What are your thoughts?
What if your boy's back in here because he's got a probable tag next to him and he looks like he's going to play?
Is that what?
He's got props.
I was wondering why this line was where it was.
Yeah, Halliburton's got all kinds of props listed up for him too, so I think he'll be in there.
Wow.
Okay. It could be a more interesting game. I just think AD is going to be a little too much on the inside for him. If LeBron plays,
probably a lot too much.
Yeah, Miles Turner's a decent defender, but if AD wants to score, he's going to score. It all depends on how they want to play their offense.
Yeah.
LeBron's got the Q tag on him. I don't think he misses this one. I think he misses that OKC game coming up soon. So I think he'll be in there. I like his rebounds plus assists over 16.5. That's been printing. I mean, the dude triple-doubled last game. He doesn't want to go out and score 35 points because then he starts to jam himself up when he's trying to get to that Milwaukee game to break the record in LA against Kareem's former team. He scored exactly 28 in his last game, which is what he needs to come into Milwaukee in single digits. I would guess he scores right around 28 to 29 again, so leaving the points prop alone, and I'll play his rebounds and assists. But as for the side, I'm sticking with the Lakers spread. I think they're starting to get that winning streak together. They're going to push for a playoff spot. I think they come out on the floor and they pretty much win this one easily.
All right. Even if Tyrese plays, right? I mean, this team was pretty good with Halliburton. It didn't.
I think it's first game back, though.
7 games over 500?
No, I agree. They definitely look good with him in the lineup. But first game back, I don't think he can flip that switch that fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take some time. Like, I don't even think he gets right back into like 36 minutes either yet.
Yeah, he'd come back, play 24 minutes, and he's not much of an impact here. So, got to take the Lakers.
All right, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it because
and then you get the Benny Mathurin saying he's better than LeBron narrative. Let's see if LeBron wants to give him a good one right here.
Dude, you got to give the kid credit.
Well, I give the kid credit for his confidence, but I think after that first game he played him, there was some quote where he's like, "I went down and missed 3 shots, and was like, I got to get my shit together." And then LeBron comes down, makes 3, gets an and 1, and he was just like, "Whoa, like this is a little different than I thought."
Yeah, that could be the case. Kurt, how are you approaching tonight's game? And of course, if Halliburton's back in the lineup, that changes the way that we're building the lineups. The days of TJ McConnell being good chalk. We could kiss them goodbye if he plays tonight. What are you seeing?
All right, so I'm pulling it up here now. As far from a betting perspective, I kind of want to see. I mean, we legit might come out and get news of like the minutes and everything is for him. So kind of want to wait to bet the props and stuff like that. But as far as DFS, thanks God, it just takes away TJ McConnell. I'm so sick of that shit. But from a DFS perspective, I kind of don't mind. We will get probably more safer value, but Neesmith doesn't look that bad at 3,600 here, even with Halliburton back. Versatile wing, so like if we need value that bad, I don't think he's terrible. And then what's funny is Miles Turner is actually hurt a little bit when Halliburton's back. Like these other guards take up pretty much usage, but you wouldn't think it hurt him that much. But the numbers say it actually does a little bit. So yeah,
I'll tell you why. Because Halliburton's a better passer. So every single player on the floor is an opportunity for Halliburton to find him. What is TJ McConnell? He's an older guard. He plays a more traditional style. What does that mean? Entry pass into the post. Be the point guard. Find the big man off the pick and roll, right? It doesn't surprise me that a player who's not as gifted, especially from the court vision sense, is going to hone in on the biggest, easiest target on the floor. So to me, the eye test completely correlates with the fact that Turner goes down a little bit with Halliburton on the floor. That's not to say that he doesn't enjoy playing with Halliburton. I think the fact that he went on with Woj and said he wanted to be traded and then signed an extension with the team showed how much he believes in Halliburton and what they're doing there in Indiana. But from a daily fantasy and a statistical perspective, I think you're right. Halliburton in means
they did him a favor with that deal too. Because if you look at that deal, it puts him in the spot where when that deal's up, he can go get his big money if he plays well. And he's also a cheap enough contract to where, if say in a year, if they're like, yeah, we don't like this anymore, Halliburton and you just don't mesh, we don't like where the team's going, his deal's easy enough to move.
Yeah, because you saw what they did, right? Because they added all the money to this year.
Yeah, they got it all out of the way so they can.
So it's like $55 million, but they added like 20 of it this year. So he's only at $20 million for the next 2 years. That's very tradable.
Yeah, right? That's why they did that. I like that kind of deal. And then I was listening to a podcast last night at Work Spread. They were talking about just intriguing trades at the deadline.
Oh gosh, you listen to those, dude. I hate this time of year.
This one kind of intrigued me. I don't think it happens because I don't think they could swindle this deal, especially after what the Raptors just said they want young players. But if the Lakers were somehow able to just turn, say, Russell Westbrook and those first round picks into Fred VanVleet, that team becomes very interesting.
Okay, yeah, but the Raptors aren't trading Fred VanVleet.
No, they came out and said today they want young players. But if they were just dumping salaries, if I was LA, I'd be getting involved in that.
I mean, Russell Westbrook and those 2 first-round picks. Oh my!
Tell me Fred VanVleet isn't the perfect fit for that team, though.
He's a perfect fit for the other team in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, because he can run the offense with the ball in his hands. You could also take the ball out of his hands and tell him to go stand in the corner, and he'll make those threes.
Yeah, and he's a good defender.
Yep.
So, I think he's going to go for a little more than some first-round picks. That'll happen when Mikey finally is old enough to legally drink. Kurt, what are your thoughts? Oh, you already went over this one. You ready to move on to the next game? Memphis Grizzlies plus 5.5 in Cleveland taking on the Cavaliers. The total is 223. Tyler, I was surprised that my projections like the Grizzlies here. I mean, like the Cavaliers by so much. Why? Jaren Jackson means that much? Jaren Jackson means that. No, they have been money. They weren't money for us the other night when the Miami Heat beat them.
Well, that's Miami. Was that at home?
Yes, it was in Cleveland. We made 4.
So that was what, their 4th ATS loss at home?
Most recent, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. Never, David. Come on, we got to check the boxes here, we the people, right? It's just in there with.
I used to stand against the Westbrook slander and be like, he's still decent, but then I watched him play a couple games. It's like this dude, like you can't play him in close games.
Stinks.
Yeah.
All right. So you think this line is right, and you like my projections that are going to tell me to bet the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 5.5 against one of the best teams in the league, the Memphis Grizzlies?
I mean, Memphis couldn't beat Portland last night. I'm not backing him here against a Cleveland team. He couldn't. Ja was able to do his thing, but couldn't win the game. And now he's going to have 2 bigs in the paint that he's not going to be able to score against. And Mobley and Allen, they have guards in Cleveland that can also score similar to the way Dame scored yesterday. I'll take the Cavs here. It's basically a better defensive matchup than what they just played last night. I'll take the Cavs at home to win this game.
All right, Kurt. I mean, I gotta trust these guys. I gotta do a better job of listening to you guys. I should have listened on Atlanta last night too. Kurt,
okay, they were in Memphis yesterday, and then just to travel up to Cleveland. So
that's not that far, is it?
It's not that far, but I wanted to see if they came from Portland all the way to Cleveland. That would have
no. That was at home last night. I loved Memphis last night. I thought that was a great spot. Projections love Memphis. The Memphis looked good for the first 3 quarters, and there was weird 7-point play.
They threw your projections out the window.
Yeah, I love Dame too. So, hey, if anyone's going to beat me, I'm fine with it being him. Oakland. All right, what are your thoughts there, Kurt, on the Cavaliers and the Grizzlies?
I think I'm leaning towards Tyler, but I don't have too much conviction. I don't know. I feel like they kind of bounce back here, but what I do like more is I like Jaws under 27.5 points.
Wow, that's ballsy.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know what it is. It's what I'm betting. It's what I'm going so far in this game. That's the only thing I have too much conviction on. I don't know. I just think they stifle him, and I think they're going to make someone else beat him, and I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to go under on that. And as far as DFS goes, I love the prices on Garland and D-Mitch, like 8,100, 7,800. I mean, like one of them is going to 50 burger. 2 of them possibly could, but one of them will. I'm going to have one of them in my lineup.
Talk to me about, Jaren Jackson being out. Does that do anything for DFS?
Oh my God, yes. It does everything for DFS. Back early in the year, first of the year, we were always stacking. It was stacking Memphis, and it was always the bigs like Aldama and what's his name?
Brandon Clark?
No, other guy.
Xavier Tillman?
Other Whitey. Aldama and
Adams.
Conchar?
No. Yes, Conchar.
Conchar's a guard.
I know, but he's a wing. So it was just like they were just smashing every night. Like Conchar and Aldama were smashing every night. So it's going to be Aldama and Tillman here. You can have both for sure. It's a terrible matchup, so I wouldn't. I would just try to pick one. I could see one getting here just off volume alone. But maybe you can.
Isn't it a bad night to play bigs though?
What do you mean?
Playing Cleveland, the best.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's volume alone. They can get there. Like Aldama's 3,200. If he plays 30 minutes, the best backcourt. Like enough balls will bounce your way. You'll have enough corner threes when people try to give attention to Josh, shit like that. So that's why I said maybe not 2 because the matchup's tough, but they're so cheap that if I saw it in the optimal, I wouldn't be like, oh, okay, well that's a shocker. But yeah, probably just 1 for me here.
All right, Tyler, any props for this game or anything else you want to talk about in the Grizz Cavaliers?
Oh, shit. I got to hop off, guys. I'll be back.
All right.
That's pretty much it for that game. I'll have the rest of the stuff up on the playbook. I just got to go over some numbers before I get more into that one.
All right.
I kind of do like the over, though. We got Jaren Jackson out. He's pretty much the best defender. Adams is still out. It's, 223? I like the over there. I think he can get up and down the floor, put up a nice number.
Okay. Let me see. What did I project that one at? Do you have the playbook up?
It is.
Oh, I had it going over.
Yeah, I like the
I have it
over.
over. Yeah, by 4 points. All right, let's move in. The Miami Heat are -1.5 in New York, taking on the Knicks. The total 215.5. Tyler, your Knicks, their most recent game, right, was the loss in overtime to the Lakers. The Miami Heat coming off the game that I was complaining about earlier, where they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. Now they travel to New York. This Miami Heat's really turned up the heat on the defensive end. Part of my plan or whatever, how that goes. But yeah, they're playing much better defensively right now. The team is starting to come together. I think this is a tough matchup for the Knicks. I feel like the Heat are who the Knicks want to be, but the Knicks have more talented players, right? But the Heat play the style that Thibodeau wants a little bit better. I think this is a tough game to call. I'm surprised that the Knicks are catching points at home, but then I underestimated the Heat 2 nights ago, and it cost me money. I don't want to do that again. Another game that I projected to the over, but I do not trust my projections. And my idea is I use season-long numbers and I use, recent numbers. But those recent numbers for the Heat, there's a huge disparity on how much better this team has been defensively and how much lower scoring these games are. So I don't want to individually adjust my metrics. I just kind of keep that in my mind. So even though it's projecting to the over, I mean, unless you give me some huge, great argument right now, I can't see an RPB tag slapped next to that total. Talk to me about this game. I think it's a great matchup. It's an old school matchup, right? The Knicks and the Heat. This is one of the great rivalries of the 90s. And maybe, if the Knicks continue to play well, it becomes a great rivalry again. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for tonight, it's probably a fade game for me. I mean, the Heat have been playing better. The Knicks have been slipping, but small spread, totals 215. The under seems appealing. Miami unders have been hitting, like we the people have said in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But at 215, I mean, it's kind of low for me. The Bam double and win plus 160. Looking at his recent games, he went for 17-9, 16-16, 6-8, 20-17 versus this Knicks team. So you could definitely get there. And if you like the Knicks side, the Randall double and wins plus 160. He's been a monster on the boards. He's going to get you double-digit points here. So I think whichever side you like, you bet it through that performance double and get the plus money on it. But as for me, I think I'm going to stay away from this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine staying away from this game too. Basically, it comes down to, we run the projections, but we're not slaves to them. And I just don't trust them. So the Charlotte Hornets are +6 in Chicago taking on the Bulls. The total's 236.5. Some interesting trends in this game, Tyler. As I was pulling out of the playbook, I was a little bit surprised, and that's why I like, doing a deeper dive on these games every night. Because I'll be honest, Charlotte doesn't come up on my league pass very often, right? I'm not as big a LaMelo guy as the rest of you guys. So Charlotte 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. So they're covering numbers like this. It's that 6 number right around that makes it playable, right? It's not the +5.5 that we hate taking. +6, right? You can see it happening. Chicago Bulls, boy, they're a streaky team. They are a streaky team. So I don't know what to make of this game. What are you getting involved? I haven't made a bet yet.
I think if I'm getting involved, I'm taking a stab on the underdog. I think they could win this game outright. Just like you said, the Bulls are so hit or miss. They're either on fire beating teams or they're losing games like this. I think this is the game they can lose. So I like the idea of taking the shot on the Hornets money line. LaMelo could have himself a day here. This is the team that has kind of just left his brother on the sidelines. I know his knee's messed up, but it's also kind of the problem. Once he got to Chicago, that's where his knee messed up. It's still
but I mean, I don't think
it's still his brother's team. He's going to want to get the little extra motivation to go good against them. So I could see LaMelo having a pretty good game. Rozier's been shooting the 3 a little better. The bigs for Chicago could have themselves away Vucevic, but I just think the 3-point shooting for the Hornets can keep this game close. So give me the shot on the Hornets to win this game outright. We don't trust the Bulls around here.
I mean, you know what? I guess if you don't really have a strong conviction for the game, getting a +184 is the best way to go, right? And I appreciate that.
If that same Hornets team shows up that just played the Bucks, they win this game.
Yeah. I mean, because that's a different team, right? Because where's Charlotte weak? They're weak in the middle, and where are the Bucks strong, right? That's a big team with Chris Middleton back, right? That's a big team. They're not going to have that same problem tonight against a Chicago team that I don't know if they're going to be keen to attack them in the middle. They did it the last time they played. These teams played on January 26th, and the Charlotte Hornets won straight up. Vukovic had one of his worst games of the season. And looking at the matchup, you would think this is a nut matchup for Vukovic, right?
He just doesn't he doesn't look at across the court and just go like, I'm gonna kill these guys today. You know what I mean? Like he just kind of goes with the flow. He's just not a guy that like pounds team into the ground, even in this great spot.
Well, the other thing is that they shot 25 threes and they only made 4 of them in that game, right? So I don't know.
They
if
built a house out there from the 3 line.
That's one of those things where you could be a great big man, and if your point guard's not feeding you, it can get frustrating. So we'll see how that one turns out tonight. The Hornets, of course, beat the Bulls a week ago, and these two teams played in November in Chicago. Chicago won. I can't remember the score off the top of my head. It was a pretty convincing victory. I know they did cover the spread in that one. That one was in November. So these teams have split. They've each won on their home court. Chicago does have home court advantage tonight, and they're laying 6. The New Orleans Pelicans plus 4.5 in Dallas, taking on the Mavericks. The total's 223.5. Tyler, some interesting numbers here. You know, we've talked about Dallas at home. Oh, they're so great at home. You know what? They're not that good against the spread at home, though. Let me look this back up because I pulled it up earlier and I was expecting, I don't know why my computer's not working. If you give me a chance, can you pull up Dallas, the difference between their at home record and then their against the spread record at home? Because it's shocked me that they have a great record at home and they do not have a good record against the spread. Let me see if I can find this because
I'm working on getting that pulled up right now.
Yeah.
I'll have it in literally 1 second.
Yeah.
Their home record is 18-9. Their away record is 9-16. If you break it down ATS, their ATS home is 9-16-2.
See, isn't that terrible?
But their ATS away is 8-17. They're just not a good ATS team altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's tough though. But New Orleans isn't that better. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. They've lost 9 games in a row. I would make the argument, and hey, you know, I'm not a scout, I'm not a doctor, but I think they might have rushed Ingram back because this team was the story of the league in November. Right, we're patting ourselves on the back. We had Pelicans futures. We're loving life. They're up there with Denver. It seemed to be this new budding rivalry. Zion goes out. Ingram goes out. The team goes in the tank. Ingram's knowing, hey, this season's slipping away. He's been back for 3 games. He's shooting less than 40% from the field in those 3 games. So this is a tough situation here. If Ingram's not 100% healthy, is he even helping the team out there? Because what does he do besides score? Herb Jones, we love Herb Jones. He can't do it on his own. CJ McCollum, we love CJ McCollum. Can't do it on his own. Joe Val, I guess it's a pretty good matchup for him tonight, going against a Dallas team that isn't that big there in the middle. So my initial thing is to just take Dallas because I think it's 2 teams that we kind of want to fade, but I want to fade the Pelicans more. I don't love it as much. I'm just saying, he says Rush Ingram's back. How long should you wait? I'm just saying he doesn't look the best. So maybe you're right. He's 100% healthy, but he's not the Brandon Ingram that left. So that's my thoughts on that one. So that's a good point. You know, I'm thinking maybe he rushed himself back or, I mean, let's be honest. If they won 9 games in a row, do you think he'd be out there? I don't know. So we the people likes the Pelicans upset here, and I can see that. These streaks have to end one time. JV does have a good matchup. CJ does too. I mean, Dallas isn't the best defensive team. Tyler, I basically talked a lot, not giving a pick here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with these guys. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Luka absolutely goes off and just blows up on the court. But I think the Pelicans do win this game. I think they come out. It's a very close game, and they sneak it out in the end and end that losing streak. I like Luka's triple-double at 4-1. I think he could easily get that. You look at his recent game logs against the Pelicans. His last game out, he did triple-double, 34, 10, and 10. The game before that, 37, 11, and 7, 49, 15, and 8, 21, 10, and 7. So he's got the triple-double once, and a couple other times he got damn close to it. So I'll take a shot on that at 4-1. I do like the Pels to win. I think CJ McCollum can have himself a big game too. His points prop at 21.5 seems a bit short. His 2.5 threes also a plus money. I'll be on both of those. And then maybe even a CJ 4+ threes and win. You get that at a nice plus price with them being an underdog. Let's see what that price is. It's got to be at least 5-1. Let's see. The 25+ points and win is plus 480. His 4+ threes and win is plus 700. I'm definitely taking a stab on that.
All right. Kurt, we missed a couple games to you. We'll double back to those at the end to get your daily fantasy perspective. But right now we're talking about the Mavericks and the Pelicans. How are you approaching this one? Kurt, you're muted.
I kind of like the Pels here to cover. Like I said, I think it's going to be a great game. I don't like taking this close to spreads like this, but I don't know. I just have a feeling. I think it's going to be a close game. I think we even might have a chance to win this one. So that's why I'm going to take the Pels plus. Was it plus 4?
Yeah. Talk to us about DFS.
Oh. See, I had a couple notes here. So Joe Val, I mean, I hate how slow these Mavs play. I say it all the time, so I don't really go too crazy here. But Joe Val just has the elite upside at 5'7". Anytime he takes the court, if he just steps into more minutes somehow, it's happened before. Obviously, Luka, I mean, you just keep playing him at this point. Like, we're going to have enough value. You just keep jamming him in, and then the 40% who fake can cry when he goes for 75 or some shit. I'm going to keep playing my boy Josh Green. I mean, I was pretty high on the Saturday show. He didn't kill your lineup, but freaking dusty-ass Reggie Bullock outscored him. Fucking Reggie Bullock. God, I really.
Why are we slandering Reggie Bullock? That's like a quality player.
What, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, he's corner
He's
standing.
fine for his role. He plays defense and he stands in the corner. That's what he does.
I just meant from a DFS perspective. I want to see Josh Green
All
taking
right,
step as far as stuff in the stat sheet and taking, especially if there's games where Luke is out. I want to see him be in the more of a point forward role. But yeah, so I don't love it too much for DFS, but I mean everyone's gonna have Luka, and then you can take a couple stabs on Joe Val as a run back.
All right, there we have it. Let's move on. Our next game is the Golden State Warriors plus 12 in Denver taking on the Nuggets. It's the baby Warriors, Tyler. You know I love me some baby Warriors. They haven't ruled them out yet, but Steph, Clay,
the next time this Warriors team plays an overtime game spread, if the line's up for the next day, we just got to bet it right then.
On offshore, it won't do it.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say
because bookmaker doesn't kick people off, so they're not gonna make that mistake.
We know the moment they play an overtime game and they're on a back-to-back, nobody's playing the next game. So you see it here, all the doubtful tags, and it's gonna be the baby Warriors, like you said. It's Denver at home. It's 12 points. I'm probably just staying away spread. Like even the performance doubles. Jokic double and win minus 320. Jokic triple and win plus 130. I'll let somebody else have fun with those props in this game. I'm not touching this one.
Yeah, man. Baby Warriors are pretty good at covering the spread. And, of course, this is going to be the chalkiest game of the night from the Warriors' perspective. Kurt, how do you approach it when it's just mega chalk and everybody's on the same thing? Do you get different, or do you just play the good chalk and try and differentiate yourself by making good picks in the other slots?
How do you do it? You just jam them in. I mean, unless you're like doing 150, and even then the guys are going to have a rule of like at least 2. So yeah, you just jam them in. 3 is perfectly fine. 4 is also doable. I feel like 3 is more optimal, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to have probably at least 3 of these guys. Hope I pick right. Ty Jerome's been the best, it feels like, as far as putting up a ceiling games when this happens. He's had 1 stinker, I believe. But yeah, Ty Jerome, and then you kind of just mix it in from there. Jordan Poole, obviously interesting at 6'5". I mean, we'll have anything he wants tonight. But yeah, I mean, I'm not God, so I can't pick the perfect 2. But I will say it'll probably be 2, 3 in the optimal. Probably 3.
All right. You're doing 3 in the optimal, huh?
And then I'm not taking the spread, but if you said that the Baby Wars have been good at covering, I'm not really took the spot, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, if you got to bet every game, I'll lean with you.
I'm going off memory, and I think they've covered 3 of the 4. I think the only time they did it was one time against the Pelicans. They lost by like 40.
I feel like Denver, too, in their spot. Like, I mean, they're not going to be going out here trying to be world beaters either, so I don't mind taking it. It feels dusty and greasy, though, but
I was talking to Holden this morning. He brought up a good point. Denver, it does play down to their competition.
That's what I was going to say. They play down to people.
Yeah, I think it's Baby Warriors or pass. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make me get involved in this game, I'm taking the plus 12.
All right.
They've done it before. They've kept these games close. Jordan Poole can shoot the lights out and keep it close. I mean, just like Kurt said, they do play down to their competition. And it's one of the things, like, we've seen it when Denver just played the Pelicans. Would it surprise either of us on this panel if it's halftime and the Warriors are winning and then Denver wins the game by double digits?
No. In fact, that might be an interesting bet there, Tyler, right? Golden State first half. Dallas.
Oh, you're getting
win.
a ridiculous price on that. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah.
6-1 on Golden State to win the first half, Denver to win the game.
Marquis, we'll get Kurt to this idea on this after the very last game. Let's move on to the last game. The Los Angeles Clippers open at +5. They're now +4 against the Milwaukee Bucks. The total is 231. Two teams that have been playing excellent basketball lately. Ever since AP and I cursed the Clippers, they have been playing well. Kawhi Leonard, it seems like he's dropping more than 30 points every single night. They're now 4th place in the Western Conference. I was kind of laughing when everyone was picking them to win the West before the season, but now you got to think this is a team that's right up there with Denver, Golden State, right, as one of the top teams in the West. Unfortunately, I'm leaving my Kings out of that, even though, right? Hey, we're doing good, but we're not really ready to be in this conversation yet. But they're playing another team that's playing well. Milwaukee Bucks won 5 in a row. Now that Chris Middleton's back in the lineup, we're seeing this team how it's supposed to be. They were a little too reliant on role players without Middleton in there. Now, you've lowered the usage for guys like Connaughton, Grayson Allen, Jordan Nwora. That's how this team is supposed to be. Middleton was great in their last game. In fact, all 3 of them were. Holiday got over like 10 rebounds. I think he had like 13 rebounds, a double-double for Holiday over the last win. And, of course, Giannis continues to be, to me, and we can start another argument, right? Chat can go crazy. Giannis is the best player in the NBA right now, in my mind. So go ahead. Oh, I see Uncle T in the chat. Let's go. Anyways, Tyler, Bucks are laying 4 here. My projections tell me to take the Clippers, but my brain wants to take the Bucks. What do you think?
I gotta take the Clippers here, spread. I mean, the Bucks have looked good, but we've seen some rough spots for them.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi can stop Giannis too. I mean, we've seen it before.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, you're going to tell me
Giannis
a couple
is better
years
now,
ago,
though?
his knee's gone, they're playing well. I don't want to hear any of that. He could stop them. They have Paul George. I'll take Paul George over Holiday any day. So I got to take the Clippers here. They're still missing Bobby Portis, who would be the punch off the bench. So I think the Clippers are going to have the better bench unit here. I think they could win this game outright. So, yeah, give me the Clippers.
All right. Tyler's taking a stand here. What do you think, Kurt?
I think I'm going to be with him. I think they're like the Bucks haven't looked like world beaters this year, and I do think that Kawhi can contain. I guess you can't really stop Giannis, but contain him somewhat, maybe frustrate him a little bit. And if you get him frustrated early, I feel like you win. I'm not saying he's like a mental midget, but I do think he doesn't have his ceiling games when he kind of gets hit in the mouth a little bit, and I think Kawhi can do that. So give me this freaking shitty ass Flippers team, man. I don't know. Some nights they just look like they're actually like legit, and then other nights they look like the Flippers. So I'm gonna go tonight's one of them serious nights.
Well, Tyler, I'm a little worried because AP's on tomorrow. If you make this pick, you guys might be back to cursing the Clippers.
Oh God.
All right, Kurt, I want to double back because we missed 2 games while you were gone. Heat, Knicks, Hornets, Bulls. Just give us a brief overview from a DFS perspective.
Well, the Knicks chalk was fun. That was a fun night. Was that 2 nights ago? That was great. Love that. Don't love too much here. The low ass total in the Heat Knicks game. So far, no one's out. We haven't got news on anything yet. Nothing too much here. You can always take shots on. I mean, Jimmy 7-4. I feel like at the Garden too might be a little too cheap. The 50 burger game probably is coming. So as far as just the low total game, I mean, give me Butler, and that's it. Bam's price enticing, but I'm not a Bam guy. So give me Butler. Probably be my main lineup tonight. And then what was the other one I missed? Bulls? Bulls.
Bulls Hornets, right? LaMelo Ball coming off the triple-double, which we enjoyed on the show because not only did we give out LaMelo Ball triple-double at what, like 11 or 12-1, Tyler? We had the crazy 80-1 LaMelo Ball triple-double and the Hornets to win. They were ahead like for the first 3 quarters. I'm texting Tyler and AP, bro, that crazy prop is alive. And of course, the Bucks pulled away at the end. There's a reason it was an 80-1. But LaMelo is starting to come together here. Should be a good matchup here against the Bulls tonight. What are your thoughts on putting some Hornets in the lineup tonight?
It's always not. That night I had him 15% owned. That was also the Knicks night. So I had a great night that night. I think I almost shipped single entry. But yeah, I didn't get it. If I would have swapped, it was one of the Knicks guards. If I would have had Quickly instead of whoever I had, I would have probably took it down. But yeah, so LaMelo, I don't know about. I don't love the matchup. The points are great, but as of right now, nothing's really popping up for this game either. I mean, we have so much value in the Warriors, and then you jam in Luka. It kind of limits you down. And plus, you got the forwards from Memphis you're going to have in. I mean, this might be a one-off spot for someone here, like LaMelo, like Vooch, DeRozan. It's like that's like these. No one plays DeRozan, and he goes for like 60 and just pisses everyone off. But just one-off guys for me here. Just because, I mean, like you add all this stuff up, and we don't have that many spots left. So why force in someone that probably doesn't have that great of a floor?
All right, Kurt, we're going to go back to our guy Marquis' question. The best values for tonight, obviously, all the Warriors are going to pop in the projections, but we can't have too many. Talk to me about the best values here on the Golden State Warriors, and if you want to get different, grab some value from the other team. Who are you looking at tonight when you're making this value?
So I think you look at the Memphis forward. I mean, I know it's a terrible matchup, but you take one of these Memphis forwards, they're going to get there, Aldama or Tillman. I like Tillman the most. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, kind of like his counterpart, Jaren Jackson. And then for the Warriors, I'm going to start with Ty Jerome being my favorite. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we have to see starters. You guys know this, but I assume he starts. And then Poole, I'm just going by points per value. And then for number 3, give me the cum bucket. And obviously, this is assuming that everyone starts, which I probably not the case. But if everyone starts, that's how I'd rank them. And then you run it back with a Memphis forward for your other cheapie. Throw in Doncic.
What Memphis forward are you looking at here?
Oh, yeah, that's what I just said, Tillman.
Yeah, like Tillman's a center.
Oh, sorry. I'm in EL mode, so all the centers are listed as forwards, but I meant bigs. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned about taking up one of the center spots, especially when I'm a little lower on Jokic.
Can I run Aldama and Tillman in the same lineup?
It depends on how much you love your build. I would like to pick one, but I do think that if they both stay out of foul trouble, they could get there off volume alone, especially if Clark keeps fucking up. Like if he just fouls or something like that, they could both easily get there.
All right. So you've given me a lineup. I got great starts, right?
And you have to
I have plenty of money left on the table. Let's talk spend ups. Luka 12-3, Giannis 11-9, Jokic 11-3, LeBron 10-7, Ja, who I already know you don't like because you spoiled that for us. And then even Julius Randle, Anthony Davis. I mean, I got money. Yeah. Who do I spend that for, Kurt?
So I'm plugging in Luka. I mean, it's not beat me this year, I don't think. I've never had him on a down game. So I plug in Luka. And then what else is it spitting out for you? Because I imagine in my head I'm getting like one of the Memphis values. Doesn't matter if you put Tillman at center. And then you got Ty Jerome, Kuminga, Poole. Mm-hmm. And then
I'm sitting there. If I had those, I got 67 left per player, and I have 3 spots remaining.
Did you put Butler at where can we slide in? Slide him in.
You like Jimmy B?
Yeah. Slide him, Jimmy.
How much is he going for tonight?
74 at the Garden.
Wow, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. What we got left?
There now you still have 6,400 for your last 2.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's just go ahead and fill this out right here.
Yeah.
And we got Poole in. We got 3 Warriors in, right?
Yep. All right. Well, let's be careful because we can't give out a full lineup. But you have a great start right there, right?
Oh yeah, it's yeah. I know who I'd plug in last piece too. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I like that. That's probably. I mean, that's probably what the optimal's like spitting out right now. I imagine 3 Warriors, one of the Memphis guys, and
then you just got to nail the spend ups, right?
Yeah. Which I mean, it's gonna be. I mean,
Paul George, is he worth it at 9K?
In a matchup where he could hit a ton of threes, I think so.
Yeah, because they did the pack the paint. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and I brought up Jaylen Brown to C-Dome, and he says no one's going to play him.
Yeah, I like this secondary.
Then the dude goes, I don't know his final fantasy points to end the night, but I know his stat line was 26 points, 7 threes. I think it was 3 rebounds, 3 assists. It's got to be a decent night in fantasy. Yeah. Unowned. I'm not sure if he got up there with the top studs. I think that guy tonight that could kind of come in lower owned and just smash his AD. I don't think that Pacers front court can stop him. You looked at some of the recent games. He's putting up like 28, 10, and 4, grabbing like 3 blocks too. Mm-hmm. I think he can have a great game against Indiana. And LeBron's in this mode where he's like, I'm going to push as hard as I have to, but I'm not going for 40 points. I'm not jamming myself up on this points record thing. So you've seen it in that game against the Knicks. He kind of deferred his shot, got the 28, and then he didn't want to shoot it anymore.
Yeah. All right, so there you go, Kurt. I think we've given everyone a great start, and that's what we do here on the NBA Rundown, runpuresports.com. This is the early look. It starts you getting your build, and then, of course, at 4:45 Eastern, the Hardwood Live show goes, right? Now you're getting a little more to keep building out. Then, members runpuresports.com. Head on over. They watch the final countdown with Big T and JSU. If you're not a member, spread 15, Tyler 15, or Tanning Bed 15. I mean, Kurt 15. And of course, that's going to help you become a member. That's going to get you 15% off the first month as well. As long as I'm throwing out promos, right? Like I'm Dusty Rhodes. Give us that thumbs up. We're here Monday through Friday, giving you the winners. And Kurt, that's what time it is. It's winners time. That's what they're here for. It's the best bets. Start with you. What do you got?
I'm going to am I on mute? Am I good to go? Okay.
You are good. Let's hear it.
I'm going on the jaw under 27.5 points.
That's one of the first times we've gone under on him for a bet. Actually, this is the first time I would say in NBA Rundown history that we've given an under as the best bet for John Morant.
Spread, give yours out next. I got to go deal with this crazy dog upstairs.
All right. Give me the Baby Warriors plus 12. Baby Warriors plus 12. I think they keep it close. Yeah. And, of course, that correlates to the lineup that we just built. Like I said, and this is off the top of my head. I haven't pulled it up. But in my mind, I think they've covered 3 of the 4 times that they've run the Baby Warriors lineup. And then the one time they lost by like 40 points to the Pelicans. So know that when you're making this bet, right, there's a chance that you get embarrassed. But sometimes the toughest bets are the best bets to make. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Baby Warriors. Talk a couple of the props that I like while we wait for Tyler. I like Vukovic to have a big night. I like a Vukovic double-double. I think he goes over on his points. I think he goes over on his rebounds. But the rebounds is set 13.5. So if you want to go for the double-double, I think that's a safer way to approach that. What is another going to Kawhi? I think he's going to go over. He's gone over almost every single night. And you talked about him being able to stop Giannis, right? Who stops Kawhi, right? I mean, Chris Middleton's a fine defender, probably one of the better defenders in the league, but Kawhi's just too good here. I like an over there for him. What other props did I play this morning? I'll have to look. Did I have one in the Lakers-Pacers? Oh, yes, AD. I like the AD double-double. Tyler brought it up. I mean, and the thing is, the points are going to get there for sure. So you're just betting that he gets over 10 rebounds. He's got over 10 rebounds in 2 of the 3 games since he's been back, and this should be a good matchup for him. So I like an AD double-double. I like Kawhi over on his points, and I like Vukovic double-double or the points prop. Tyler, here you go.
Give me the over in that Miami game. I like that over 220, or not the over in the Miami game. What was our other one we talked about? New Orleans Pelicans.
I thought you liked the over in the Grizzlies Cavs.
Okay, well, yeah, then that one. Whichever game we talked about. The dog's at the upstairs destroyed. The dog's going on sale once I'm out of here. Dog shouldn't even be in this house.
No, he shouldn't. You should get some cats like me, bro. My cats are so chill.
Yeah. Well, that over. Give me that over in the Memphis game.
I can't imagine what it's like to be a cat in Pennsylvania. Like, can you even let them out right now?
There's a bunch of cats that live outside. The dog's probably outside barking at one already.
All right. Well, Tyler's getting pissed off, so it seems like a good time to end it. We appreciate such a nice, respectful chat today, right? Everyone was happy, bringing the good mojo. I feel like the winners are coming on. Tyler and I, for the members of Run Pure Sports, we're going to finalize those tags. Those will be up real soon. And then, of course, if you are a member for Run Pure Sports and you're kind of familiar with the process, right? Tyler waits a little bit to put those props up. We're going to wait for the news to finalize, wait for those numbers to get in. But, if you log in 7 Eastern by 4 Pacific, the player props are going to be there. The winners are going to be there. And the members also know Tyler's also going to drop a great play in the Discord. So, hey, if you're a big fan of 27-1 parlays, use that promo code Tyler15, 15% off your first month at runpuresports.com. Smash the like. Kurt, words of wisdom from the Tindler Swindler himself.
Man, I'm kind of sick today. I don't got as much energy, but
yeah, we're feeling it, man. I mean, you haven't even like air humped or anything.
I know, bro. I'm sick, guys. But okay, look, we don't got an NFL this week, so bet a little bit more on NBA, bet irresponsibly. You got a little bit more funds to put towards there since we don't have NFL. So don't be afraid to get a little too crazy tonight.
All right, we're gonna do it, and of course, follow those RPB tags.
Kurt, while you're here, props. Just a little preview. Who you got?
He asked me for the show, and I keep going back and forth, man.
You're an offensive lineman. Game's won in the trenches. You betting against the best offensive line?
I don't think I can. Jordan Mailata, Baluki. God, I've been watching that guy progress for years, and he's so good now. And you got Kelsey holding him down. It's hard to go against him, man. But yeah, I think, and I was about to say this what have I said on the show all year? I've said that this Kansas City not having weapons is going to be their Achilles heel. And we've seen it some games. He was throwing the fucking Marcus Kemp last game, dog. Marcus Kemp's a special teams player. That's like the Patriots special team. Matthew Slater going out there and had to catch passes for Tom Brady like 4, 5, 7 years ago. It's insane. So yes, give me the Eagles. Final answer.
The chat's not happy with the dog slander, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean they'll be all right. The dog's just a puppy. She destroyed upstairs. I mean, I'll bring them to those guys. She can destroy their house, and then they can tell me.
That's the girl dogs, bro. Girl dogs are terrible.
Yeah,
I have a boy dog. He's so chill.
All right, and I got a couple cats named after WTA tennis players. On that note, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, with the man, the myth himself, AP Kurt. Thank you for joining us. Get better soon, man. We need some of that energy next week. You have 6 days, and I'm ordering you to take care of yourself. Right, lay off. Maybe go to bed a little early tonight. There could be some disappointed women in the area. They'll survive. Get your rest. See you next week. Run pure.